Okay. I'm back again. We're gonna draw some stuff. We're gonna listen to Wacky Wednesday. So I'm going through Mark Richards episodes. Right now we're on episode 156, Gaseous Beings and Antiques. And we have about a half hour left of this one.
Not the cat beings.
Let's check it out.
But
because I just went to Egypt and I know cats are pretty important there.
Mark does tell her about the Sphinx and how there used to be multiple ones and they were cats. They're cat people.
They were cats or they were real?
No, well, they weren't real as much as they were statues and all. They were still statues and shit.
Weren't there multiple ones?
I think that is correct, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I don't remember. It's been a long time since I've looked into it.
Verify.
There's another influence that maybe Mark's been watching movies. We'll see. This is crazy.
The remaining Sphinx has now a human head carved from the cat head, and his contact on this is a Black Panther cat being called Contessa.
Okay. Okay. All right. Mark knows a Black Panther cat being named Contessa.
Mark also asked her if she was on 10 yet.
Right. Woo!
Power girl.
That's a lot to take in. He's hanging out with a Black Panther cat being named Contessa.
Yep. Of course.
Woo! Love it. Can't get enough.
She's from the land of
Wakanda?
No, Conda.
Meowconda.
All right. Plus 1 point for that.
This is so stupid. Like, at a certain point, it really feels like Mark Richards might be fucking with her. Or like,
no, he's always been fucking with her.
But he might be trying
But now
to get
he's
caught.
really going for it.
He might be seeing, like, I'm just going to say.
How far can I push this?
I fucking know Black Panther people.
No.
Or maybe this is just his way of trying to rationalize a rumble that he had with a black gang in prison with his white gang.
Right.
And the Black Panther is how his brain, I don't know. I'm over exegesing this. It's unnecessary.
Might be.
Anyway, there's cat people. Also,
Michael B. Jordan was great in that Egyptian fight.
He played Contessa.
Yeah.
Recently.
Contessa Monger.
Recently, sir, the international community has decided, they have good reason to believe that Vladimir Putin attacked a spy in London, I believe. Wasn't it London?
Yeah.
But get this. It wasn't Putin. It was aliens.
Regarding the Salisbury attack, he said
it was delicious.
The fascists, reptoids, and Draco want to weaken the U.S., Russia, and Britain, and so the aliens continue to pit them against each other. He says Putin is not messy. He kills lots of people, but with precision. The collateral damage indicates that the Salisbury attack was carried out by British or the aliens.
Wide swath there. Either the British or
the
any
aliens.
number of alien races that I've brought up.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, but at the same time, she is the Black Dragon Queen.
Right.
So, could be all.
No,
could be.
England is under the sway of the Black Dragon Queen.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
Okay.
I assume that's a Draco in disguise.
I don't know.
So, of course.
I don't think
Is there any
not a
difference
literal
between
dragon.
the British and the aliens at this point, Dan?
No.
Prove that to me.
No, of course not.
Of course not.
Why do they have
It's
tea
the same.
time, little cucumber sandwiches?
Oh,
Get the
that's
fuck out of here.
definitely alien.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, the explanation.
You call fries chips? Get the fuck out of here.
Come on. Get the fuck back to your own
Get
planet.
the fuck out of here, Draco.
Come on. Go on Planet Hunters. Or the show about fish tanks. That would also be an acceptable one.
So
Tanked, I believe is what it's called.
I'm going to skip this next clip because it's not really all that great. It's just Mark saying that he's trying to stop North Korea and China from killing millions of people.
Himself?
Yes.
Okay.
He's leaking information.
With the portal?
He's leaking information to Kerry in order to stop a war that will kill millions of people.
God, I really feel if there...
Being that I had mentioned earlier, he said he's written about her in his writings, which are available at Earth Defense Headquarters site.
Dan. Guess who immediately went to that website?
Dan.
Yes, sir.
What did you just say to me?
Here's the problem. There's nothing.
It's thomas.loc.gov, which is a reference to an
No one's gonna
episode that
understand
no one will ever know. God damn it, that was a great.
I'm gonna say it again. I went to the website and it's crazy. Like, his wife has made a straight up 501c3 nonprofit organization.
Oh yes.
And oh my god, I've got to pull up the site. They claim to have
hold the fucking phone.
They claim to have the original copy of the Golden Bough.
Okay.
Well, I mean, like the book, not the not the one for, not the mythical object.
Okay.
Because
that would be a big find.
That'd be huge.
Yeah.
What's the other thing that they've got? I mean, it's crazy that they put together a organization at all.
God, I
Freakishly large necks.
You know, as much as we can make fun of them, I'll be goddamned if these people don't try and follow through on their shit.
They're enterprising.
Yeah.
So
we wouldn't make a 501c3.
No. And so I looked at this.
We don't even know how. I don't even know what that means.
If you go to the website, the Earth Defense League, you'll find that the executive director is Joanne Richards, his wife.
Of course.
And there's a board of directors, which blew my mind.
Wait.
One of them is named Dr. Julian Salt.
Love him.
And I Googled him, and it turns out that he's been on Project Camelot doing an interview about how much he loves Mark Richards. And I was about to be like, well, fuck it, we're doing that episode tonight too. But I listened to like maybe 15 minutes of it, and he is a boring ass dude. Then I looked further down the list, and one of the people on the board of directors is Lou Wagner. I was like, what? The guy from Chips? it's like a character actor.
Wait, is it the guy from...
So right now we're on episode 156. Gaseous beam feed is stuck on loading. Oh no. What does that mean? I don't really have much indicators of like how the stream is. I have a button that says live and the counter. I got no sound. Okay, it might just be internet technical difficulties. Can you hear me now? All right, looks like we're back. Thanks. Melly Bean. Oh, I like that, Melly Bean. Thanks, Melly. Let's go back to the episode.
I don't know. I have no idea. But
There's no way to follow up on Lou Wagner?
I'd have to send them an email or something. Be like, I don't know. Very well could be Lou.
Draft that email for me right now.
I mean, he's still alive. He's 69 years old. Could very well.
Excuse me, guys. So Lou Wagner on your board of director.
How about
guy from Chips? Guy from Chips? Guy from Chips? Is he the guy from Chips?
Is that? Did you swing the guy from Chips?
Could you guys? He's a good get. He's a good get.
There's absolutely no doubt about that. I'm trying to find the exact page that I was on earlier. So you can go here to the website. I was hoping I'd find just rambling blogs and stuff like that, but it's all,
of course,
it's all for sale. Like, it's just they're just selling all his like writings and stuff. So for like $40, you can learn about what happened at Hamilton Air Force Base in the summer of 1952.
For how much?
$40.
How long is this?
That actually has the page count here. $40. That one's 384 pages.
Oh, that's not bad. I would take that in a hardback. $40 for a hardback makes sense. PDF file? No, thank you.
Yeah, I don't know.
How dare you?
I don't know if it's that.
And it's probably written. Well, no, he would write it in pen, and then she would transcribe it, of course.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's torture. That's torture.
Yeah.
To write down 300 some odd pages of bullshit
Mhm.
and then ask your wife
Sell it.
to type it.
So it's the Earth Defense Headquarters, but as a part and parcel of that is Dragon Hill Research Center.
All
that
right.
you can apply to be a researcher at, which I might do.
Yeah, you need to. You need to.
It's in San Anselmo, California, and it's apparently in a castle. Or, I'm sorry, a castle-like setting.
I feel like the moment you need to make that distinction, you might as well stop.
They got a lot of books and a lot of research going on.
Of course,
There's an extensive collection on Wicca, mythical, in quotes, because they're fucking real,
Right.
creatures such as dragons and fairies,
Right.
history, modern military history, space, and environmental issues. The Research Center is proud to own the Parliament Rolls of Medieval England, covering 1272 to 1504, and several volumes of the Golden Bough. Yeah, crazy.
All right.
Crazy.
All right.
Crazy. I want to go there.
I kind of think the saddest thing is that they probably have a better science department than most Christian universities.
Maybe. I want to go there.
I want to go there too.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So anyway.
Could we get in? I don't know if my transcripts are good enough, Dan.
Anyway.
I dropped out of college.
This clip isn't done. He still has to talk about the Black Panther lady.
Oh, of course.
But I just wanted to quickly tell you all a little bit about Earth Defense Headquarters.
Okay.
That's maintained by his wife, Joanne Richards, and I highly recommend that as a great
There's
place to
nothing
get
on that
more of
website.
his writings. But he says that the cat beings are not at this time openly assisting humans, that there are 4 different cat races in contact, and that at the moment they're detached from human affairs.
I don't give a shit.
So
Yeah,
like
sure.
Tabby.
Yeah.
Black
Panther.
Black Panther.
Ocelot.
Ocelot?
Ocelot alaikum. That's how you treat each other.
-1 point.
How dare you?
-1.
How dare you?
-1. Absolutely.
I don't know. I don't know how you can't just like be like, Mark, come on. This is ridiculous.
Yeah.
She has kittens and they stand upright. Exactly. You like Jordan kicking his legs? Boom. There you go. I've got it in GIF form.
Yeah, even Carrie has to be like, do some punch up, man. Come on. Give me a little bit more to work with than that. Give me more than 4 cat species just not giving a fuck, i.e., just like cats.
Right.
You know, like, it's 4 cat species who are essentially cats. You know, they're cats.
Sure. Like,
Doesn't matter.
But they stand up right.
Look, you go around the universe, cat's a cat, man. Cats have been around for at least 65 million years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that makes sense.
For sure.
Yeah.
Well,
Basically, Mark and his father considered it gambling with our lives.
okay.
Aliens are already here!
Neighbors.
Sorry.
Neighbors.
Aliens are already here.
Neighbors.
And
Neighbors, hold on. I need to get that. This is at 1 hour 33. I want to keep track of all the times that Dan says neighbors, neighbors, because Jordan's screaming. And I want to get all the little out of context shit that Jordan says when he said, like, so like whatever the neighbor is hearing, you know what I mean? So like, what did he just say there? The aliens are coming or something? Neighbors.
Neighbors.
Aliens are
Let's go to
already
the bottom.
here.
And they're setting
Does
they're-
not matter.
Aliens
And you said the Voyager
already
out.
here.
The Voyager didn't
Like a
go far
category
enough to deal with aliens coming from different galaxies.
Hey,
the Voyager
Jordan.
can't possibly
Hey,
go far enough.
Jordan.
There's no way for the Voyager
Jordan.
to go far. Yeah.
aliens were involved in World War II.
Aliens were involved in
It predates any space travel.
Not.
Mm-hmm.
Does it?
Not the Raptors in the 65 million years ago.
Sagan was there.
Sagan, man. I love it. We're gonna. I mean, Carl Sagan's dead now, so we can't confirm or deny this story about the Dutchman.
Lizard man
When was
species?
it?
Involved in
Voyager?
With our locked
Thomas Jeff?
and his father considered.
Already here. Already here!
113:20. All right, good. I'm
Neighbors.
gonna try to catch those anytime
Neighbors.
I find out
Aliens
neighbors.
are already here.
And they're
It
setting.
does
they're-
not matter.
they're setting-
If you send the Voyager out,
Right.
the Voyager didn't go far enough to deal with aliens coming from different galaxies.
Hey,
The Voyager
Jordan.
can't possibly
Hey,
go far
Jordan.
enough. There's no way for the Voyager
Jordan.
to go far. Yeah.
aliens were involved in World War II.
Aliens were involved in
It predates any space travel.
Not
Mhm.
does it?
Not the Raptors and the 65 million years ago.
Sagan was there.
Sagan, man. I love it. We're gonna. I mean, Carl Sagan's dead now, so we can't confirm or deny this story about the Dutchman.
Lizard man species?
Uh-huh.
Sahagin or Sahagan, whichever it is. There's a mythological species of I think amphibious humanoid.
Mhm.
Sahagans.
Oh yeah, they're researching
Sahagans.
them at the Dragon Hill Research
Exactly.
Center. Yeah. DRC.
Now,
You know me,
shorten it.
right?
Shorten it. Sagan.
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 He's a fucking reptoid.
He's a fucking reptoid.
Son of a
I
bitch.
knew it the whole time.
Oh my
That
god.
blue dot speech, he wanted to eat that dot.
Uh,
Wanted to eat that fucking dot, Sagan.
Sagan. So this whole exercise pushes the realm of credulity way too far.
It goes a bit.
The
It's a
idea
bit much.
the idea that Carrie's just going along with all of this is wild. But we do reach one point here towards the end.
Again, how do you wind up on a conversation? How do you wind up going from aliens love antiques
Right. Because that's the biggest takeaway.
to Anunnaki, I'm a racist,
Mhm.
to, my dad and Carl Sagan got into a fight one time.
You know why? Because he's a 60-year-old dude who's been in prison for 30 years and he probably just rambles. He's probably like your grandpa. Well, I don't know your grandpa, but like
He's dead.
we miss him. But like
Not really.
Yeah. A stereotypical grandpa is just like, I tell you about the time in World War II, I punched a Nazi, or
Right,
and then
right,
the next
right.
second he's talking about I don't like soup.
Right.
I'm sure Mark Richards is the same kind of dude. Just
No,
like,
clearly he's lost his mind.
I love to hang out with cat people who like luxury items, and they walk upright. Also, Anunnakis have different colored skin.
And I don't like them.
No,
Not because of
they're
that,
sketchy.
but you know them because of that.
You can't trust them because they work
Can't
with
trust
Draco, who are into conquering things, and humans are against that, except
However-
for all the times we've conquered things. But that's just because of lizards.
Now, he did not specifically say that the Anunnaki were evil.
He's
Intrinsically,
he does everything but.
he is saying that he can't trust them because they do work with those other people.
And he's fought them in the past.
Which says, to a certain extent, they're a possible friend.
I don't know. I disagree. But in this next clip, Carrie reaches the point where she's even like a little
Even
skeptical.
she is like,
She's
I don't
not.
know.
She's not. She
Okay.
still thinks he is a fucking captain in the literal secret space program that saves the world, and he's been framed for
Right.
a murder he didn't
Right.
commit.
Right.
He's stuck in a prison that he couldn't
Right.
get out of with raptor portals.
Right.
He loves his wife too much, and that's
Yep.
why he stays in a prison.
All of this tracks so far.
Absolutely.
Yep.
But apparently, we learned a little something about mantis beings.
He's just naming any insect that was in his cell that day.
So we learned about mantis beings and Carrie has slightly different information than about the mantis beings.
Regarding mantids and raptors, he said they are now aligned with humans.
Good.
And that's very interesting. And we need to talk more about that and
Do we?
drill down there, especially with regard to the mantids.
Why, though?
But especially with regard
But why? Here's why.
There's some recent information from a remote viewing by Brett Stewart, and I'm going to be talking to Simon Parks about that in an interview quite soon.
So some guy remote viewed something and learned about mantis beings in a way that he learned something that contradicts what Mark Richards is saying. So we got to talk. We got to really nail this down.
Here's what I just found out about myself.
Mm-hmm.
It somehow makes me way more depressed when she has to deal with two sources disagreeing with each other. Because
I get exhausted.
Because then you're like, oh, now you're entering a whole new. If you're just being conned by one con man, that happens.
Sure.
If you're being conned by two con men at cross purposes, like a Michael Caine movie.
Well, and she's conning everybody too. Because she's being like, while she was, not posting up all these videos, she got on.
Oh, this is exactly like the Michael Caine movie. Then
she got on all of her social media accounts and everything was going crazy, saying like I'm being censored because we're talking about this real shit. And in reality, she had a lunatic on who was saying that every tragedy in the world.
It's interesting, and we need to.
Well, it's not mantis; it's mantids.
Be different information than him about the mantis beings.
Regarding mantids and raptors, he said they are now aligned with humans.
Good.
And that's very interesting.
That they're aligned with
humans.
humans.
Talk more about that and drill down there, especially with regard to the mantids.
Why though?
But especially with regard.
But why? Here's why.
There's some recent information from a remote viewing by Brett Stewart, and I'm going to be talking to Simon Parks about that in an interview quite soon.
So some guy remote viewed something and learned about mantis beings in a way that he learned something that contradicts what Mark Richards is saying. So we got to talk. We got to really nail this down.
Here's what I just found out about myself.
Mm-hmm.
It somehow makes me way more depressed when she has to deal with two sources disagreeing with each other.
I get exhausted.
Because then you're like, oh, now you're entering a whole new. If you're just being conned by one con man, that happens.
Sure.
If you're being conned by two con men at cross purposes, like a Michael Caine movie.
Well, and she's conning everybody too. Because she's being like, while she was, not posting up all these videos, she got on.
Oh, this is exactly like the Michael Caine movie. Then
she got on all of her social media accounts and everything was going crazy, saying like I'm being censored because we're talking about this real shit. And in reality, she had a lunatic on who was saying that every tragedy in the world is fake and going through a laundry list of false proof of all of this shit. And so her channel got a strike because rightfully someone complained. And so she wasn't allowed to stream anymore. That doesn't mean she can't post stuff. And she was saying that her livelihood was being taken away from her. And I'm here to tell you, this is a 40-minute long video. There's like 5 commercials in it, like throughout.
Yeah.
She's heavily monetized in terms of the videos. And they didn't take that away. She's still making bank off these videos.
All right.
Because if you consider she has like 190,000 followers or something like that.
Really?
Yeah, on YouTube.
How do you get that many if you're her?
A lot of them are fake, probably.
Of course.
And then, man, it's fun.
It is fun. It is fun.
It's fun to listen to this crazy bullshit.
I could definitely get high and listen to this by myself.
I think you would get bored of the ones that aren't Mark Richards and stuff.
Yeah, clearly.
But spoiler
I just
alert.
got bummed out that there was another guy and that he sucked.
Spoiler alert. Speaking of remote viewing.
Again, somehow remote viewing bummed me out more than Mark Richards' bullshit. I'm like, look, time travel, portals, all of these, why not? Remote viewing, that's too far.
Well, I think it's because it's getting too specific. Like with Mark Richards, it's never really established how are you talking to these raptors while you've been in prison for 30 years?
Right.
Is it in your dreams?
Hidden.
What? I don't understand.
Secret.
Are they invisible raptors?
Portals.
So
they come at night when nobody else is awake.
They only come out at night. They're man-eaters.
Plus 1 point. Plus 1 point.
That's what Hollow Notes were talking about. Raptors. That's why they have that lyric in there. They see you as cat.
Hollow Notes. Have been in on it.
Yeah,
along with the guy from Chips.
Mm-hmm. Sweet Lou Wagner. I do fucking hope it's the same guy.
I really do. I really do.
I mean,
that way we can put all this Kanye shit behind us and really dig into what the fuck is going on with Lou Wagner.
I think Lou Wagner has a website. You might have a contact thing on there. I'm going to send him an email.
Please.
We've got to get to the bottom of this. Anyway, we have one more clip here where, for once again, Mark Richards explains.
If Lou Wagner is on Twitter,
Gotta give him
and
a call.
our policy wonks just inundate him with like,
See if we can get him on the show.
how do you feel about the Earth Defense League?
Hey,
Would be a
are
delight.
you on the board of directors? Because some of what your name is. So we have one more clip. Like I said, it is just Mark being like, I am never getting out of prison.
Right.
Like she keeps trying to have like, well, what about this? What about when Trump's in office? Maybe he could help get you out of prison. We already know that he thinks that Trump is controlled by aliens.
Right.
But there's another reason.
In the form of Melania specifically.
Right.
Wait, but hold on. Now, if Melania is an alien control bot,
Not a control bot, a communication bot.
well, yeah, whatever.
It's like C-3PO.
Right. What about the kid? What about Baron?
Baron?
Yeah. What about Baron?
Cat being. No, it's not the cat people.
Exactly.
Ant.
Or is it cat plant
Mm-hmm.
to make it look like it's not the cat beings?
Interesting.
But they got to have their own diplomatic spy in there in order to make sure that they are keeping up with the latest. I don't know how could Baron possibly fit into this if Melania is a biological creation?
You dumb fuck. Alien phones can get pregnant.
You know, Dan, before I met you, the sentence alien phones can get pregnant would never have occurred to anybody in my life.
Especially prefaced by you dumb fuck. As if
Of course.
As if
It's too obvious is what it is.
it's offensive that you don't know that. So anyway, here's the next clip where it's really just Mark Richards slamming shut that prison door behind him.
I asked him whether he thought Trump would release Mark. He said,
Nope.
No, Trump is scared to death of what Mark and his friends, the Raptors, are capable of. Mark admits to scaring those in power. His contacts make him a very real threat to their way of life.
Right.
And that is the end of this interview.
You know what the problem is? Trump's got a lot of antiques. I don't know. It's so stupid.
That's been my problem with him all along.
Too many antiques.
Too many antiques.
Holy shit. This is one of the ones that like
so good.
there's so much going on. Like he realized that the narrative's getting a little stale. I've got to interject new characters.
Right.
You know, it's like in season 2 of Heroes. Got to add some new blood in there. Some new characters. So now we got cat beings. We had a Contessa.
And he saw. And look,
We
he
got
hasn't
gaseous
seen.
beings.
He hasn't seen Black Panther, but he has seen the news in which they said that Black Panther was the highest grossing
the
Marvel
biggest thing in
movie.
the world.
Yeah, there you go. So he's got to throw in some Black Panther right there.
Mysteriously, Raptors have exactly the same timeline as Jurassic Park.
Strange.
Very bizarre.
Possible.
Also,
They can run 88 miles per hour, and that gets them off planet.
88 point. Who cares?
Who cares?
Also, he's telling a story about parallel Earths that is mysteriously close to the plot of a show on Stars.
Yeah. It's not a bad show. J.K. Simmons is great.
Hey,
I like J.K. Simmons.
he's great.
It's got the asshole from season 1 of Game of Thrones on it. Guy who gets the golden helmet.
Here's what I want to do. I don't want to talk about that. Makes me sad. Here's what I want to talk about. I want to talk about right at the beginning how I think that she was talking about us, possibly.
Okay.
And what I would like to do...
I want to bring this back to a more narcissistic place.
No, because I want to do an experiment.
All right.
I would like to throw this out there. Mark Richards, if you're listening, don't tell Carrie about this.
She won't be able to visit you for a good 6 months.
The next time she comes to visit, we got to give him something to tell her. We got to see if he's really this bored, if he wants to engage with us. Okay.
Via proxy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So,
all right.
I mean, it's got to be a new race of aliens.
Does it?
I would assume.
Can it just be like, I had to bring a crayon today because all of the pencils in this prison were burned.
No, because that could be a coincidence. And it could be an alien prank.
That's true. That's
Juvenile
true.
alien races.
That is true.
I mean, one option is just have.
It's way better than if they caused another forest fire.
One option is Mark could just yell like "Baba Booey" at her over and over again, or something like that.
I really don't want that to be the case.
I think that would be a little too overt.
I think we got to put our brand on there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh! Nailed it! Nailed it!
Sentient,
Nailed it!
Sentient trees?
No.
Okay.
Cat people, send them a bucket of poop.
No.
Come on.
No.
That's perfect.
No.
That's perfect.
No, not good. Not good.
How dare you?
Tree people. What do you think? How say you want tree people?
Just tree
like
people?
the Ents.
Just tree people?
Yeah.
The Ents?
Like Groot?
See, I feel like the Ents could be a coincidence, though. They've already covered all of the bug species that are popular.
Mm-hmm.
You got your mantids, you got your spiders, you got your ant.
You don't have a cockroach.
You got your giant bugs, though. You got your giant beetles that they.
Oh, you get the beetle beings in Vietnam.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. So that's cool. Yeah.
I like living in a world where we're both like, oh, well, of course you got the beetle beings from Vietnam.
Yeah. That's
naturally.
As they say, that's close enough for jazz.
Yeah,
with
exactly.
the cockroach.
Yeah. So then you got your lizard species, and he's already got dragons. He's already got raptors.
It would be boring.
He's already got reptoids, which covers the whole rest of them.
And it would be boring to do like gorilla people because that's just.
Oh
people.
yeah, that's just people.
Yeah. Or like bonobo people.
Right.
Whales.
We could do whales.
We don't
have any fish.
We don't have any aquatics.
We don't have any aquatics.
Mark,
we got to bring the aquatics into this.
Squid people.
Squid people, absolutely squid people.
They're nice. They're helpful, but they will shoot you with some fucking ink.
Super smart. They can get in and out of everywhere.
They're not that smart.
No. They're super smart. Like, have you seen the
smart.
YouTube videos of
That's an octopus.
The octopus getting out of the thing and then crawling and then doing the thing and then it gets back in the thing.
Octopus ain't no squid.
Super smart.
It's not a squid.
They're the same thing.
Now dolphins would be super smart.
Dolphins are already super smart, though.
So, but dolphin people, that's not.
That's Douglas Adams.
You need squid.
So long and thanks for all the fish.
Squid,
come on, man.
octopus, possibilities. Mark, work with it.
Also, no, cuttlefish, because they're within the same family, but they are perfect at camouflage.
California sunfish. They're giant and ugly.
I don't know what a California sunfish is.
It's that weird one that's like really flat and tall, but also has like an eye on the side of its head. It's gross.
Oh, okay.
Freakish looking.
It looks like a saw.
Whale is cool, too big. Squid or octopus, Mark?
Squid or octopus.
Your call.
Yep.
Your call.
Yeah.
That is how we will know for sure. Ooh, Far Out has a good one. California raisin people.
I like California raisin people.
I would argue that's just the California raisin.
No, but they don't have to sing. That could be a misconception about them.
So, Mark, if you are hearing us and you want to signal to us from the outside that you're hip to what's going on,
squid people,
or
God damned if I'm not going to take some money from Raptors.
I would eat all chocolate on the off.
Oh, you got to do it so fast.
You
You can't have those M&Ms anymore.
No,
those are done for you.
Got to eat them all real quick.
Oh yeah.
And they probably want to cut me open and take it out of me.
No, that's not how that works.
All right.
They like it fresh or frozen. I don't know.
Anyway, this is a load of hot bullshit. But it's been fun.
It's so good.
We'll be back to Alex Jones' business soon.
This genuinely should not delight me still. And it never does it.
It's hard not to. Well, because
it's so great.
Well, I'll say this. He's more creative than Alex. So he keeps,
absolutely.
He keeps coming up with new fucked up things.
Right.
And doesn't forget these little other things like, why is the chocolate so special? It's like, well, it's a mystery. We don't even know how they pollinate. I'm like, yeah, we do. So he keeps up the old stuff, brings the old stuff back to mind while introducing new stuff in a way that's compelling.
Do you know what I find fascinating about it? And I think this might be my favorite part, is unlike your other sequels, where you keep escalating things and it feels bloated. Like Spider-Man 3. There's like 8 villains and none of them are interesting and everybody's fighting. And
I feel you.
There's all this shit going on and you lose the real heart of the character.
Uh-huh.
He goes the opposite direction. Instead of paring it back and kind of focusing on the heart of the character, he goes so far into the let's make it the most bloated. Let's go from random ass thing to random ass thing. We're just jumping from subject to subject. We're on a breakneck pace. This is fucking the Mad Max Fury Road of alien conspiracy theories.
Undoubtedly.
This is a nonstop action-packed.
It's like
car
it's
chase.
like every Fast and Furious movie.
Yeah, it is like every Fast and Furious movie.
But with Ant-Man. Ant people.
You can't prove that they weren't in there.
Hello,
That's
Veronica.
true. You can't prove the Raptor wasn't in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the Fate of the Furious, they go to.
Welcome. Thanks for joining us. You know, we're at the end of episode 156. There's just like 2 minutes left. But I have a playlist. We're going through Mark Richards' Wacky Wednesdays.
Antarctica.
But I think we'll just go ahead and skip to the next one. Episode 193, Big Skeletons and Pencil Ink.
You can go fuck yourself.
Oh. Go fuck
Andy
yourself.
and
Okay,
Kansas, you're on the air holding.
Hello, Alex. I'm a first-time caller. I'm a huge fan. I love your work.
I love you.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Alex Fight Up. Dan.
I'm Jordan.
We're a couple dudes who like to sit around, drink novelty beverages, and talk a little bit about Alex Jones.
Indeed, we are. Dan, what was the last Broadway play you saw?
Ooh, none. I've never seen a Broadway play, although I was in...
Not even like a high school, like...
That's not a Broadway play.
But they do Broadway plays sometime, right?
I think I saw...
What is a Broadway play?
It's got to be on Broadway.
I don't hold by that. I think that's racist.
I saw South Pacific. I saw my high school, Hickman High School in Columbia, Missouri. They did they did a version of South Pacific, and I saw that, and I was underwhelmed.
Yeah, not good.
Before that, I was in drama class, though.
Right.
And I did do one musical.
I found a kitty cat. No, the kitty cat. This guy, his name is Brain. He looked just like Brain from Pinky and the Brain when he was a little kitten. And he's all feisty right now, running around. What a cutie. All right. This kind of just looks funny how it is, like with he's like hugging it, rubbing his chin on it. So I'm going to give a little rundown really quick. Just a second. This is Brain and Peppercorn. They are brother and sister. And there they are making a Don Gato sandwich. That's this little guy here. Don Gato. Brain and Peppercorn. And Brain and Peppercorn have a mom, and that is this orange one. And this little orange one, you can't see. It seems like you should be able to see it according to my preview of the stream. What do you see on the stream right now? Maybe I'll try resharing. I want to make sure I'm not share like a link. Share screen. Oh, why is it doing that? Can you see that? That's weird. I may have unclicked the stop sharing or something, but I could still see my shared screen on. Might be a delay. But anyway, these are brother and sister, and that's their mama. And he's unrelated, but good friend. They're all a cute little pack. Anywho, so here's Alex and his fish oil. God, I hope that doesn't happen for like a long time and I don't notice that like I'm not sharing the screen. Peppercorn's name just came from like when I had them as kittens because I have their mom and we had 6 of them. I got to give them all names because they were born in my bedroom because they had to be sequestered away from Don Gato at the time because he had like older kitty diseases that the kittens would need to be inoculated, so they had to stay separate. So the kittens grew up in my room, so I knew them all very well. And Peppercorn had a black nose, and they grow and they change color quite a bit. But she was all white and just a little black nose, and I just thought it looked like a little peppercorn. So I call her Peppercorn. Nowadays, casually, if I'm talking to her, she's just Pep Pants, Pepper Pee Pants, something like that. I just go with the pee pep up sounds. Pep, 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 pep. I don't know where she is. All right. So I think, yeah, we're sharing the screen. I'm going to shrink this bottle down and put it in his hand. I need to draw an arm.
What was your part?
I played the lead in a. This is off Broadway. It was called We Has Jazz.
What?
HAZZ.
No.
It was about the history of
Ooh,
jazz.
hard pass.
I played a kid.
Hard pass.
I played a kid named Riff who was super into jazz.
You played a kid named Riff who was super into jazz?
Everyone had to play 2 parts though because we were understaffed in this drama department at my junior high, and I also played Fats Waller.
All right, that sounds great.
Yeah.
That sounds great.
I wanted to be Satchmo.
It's probably better than the movie that was released last year with Gosling.
It wasn't.
Yeah.
It was a disaster.
That movie sucked.
No. So I was talking about We Has Jazz.
Right.
The reviews were scathing.
Scathing?
Yes.
Of a children's play?
Uninspired.
Ouch. Ouch. Ouch.
Although this lead kid does have the potential to one day host a podcast where he knows a lot about Alex Jones.
And I don't know anything about Alex Jones. That's amazing how that worked
Very
out.
prescient but scathing review from my
that is a
junior
good
high
one.
musical.
That is a good one. We got to find that guy or gal.
They say sooth. I got out of that game. I'm glad I did. Now I'm here. Before we get into today's episode, I want to talk a little bit about the goings on in the world of Alex because he's
still lost his mind.
Oh boy! And today we're recording this here on the 14th on Tuesday. And during the day today, he pretended that Infowars.com got taken down.
Ah, what?
Yep. He put up.
He pretended that it got taken down?
Because what he did is he tweeted that the communists are coming after Infowars.com, so you got to go to Newswars and PrisonPlanet.com. And then Infowars.com became just a big thing that says Infowars is under attack and then links to his other sites. And it's like, if your site got taken down, there's no damn way it's just going to be links to all of your other stuff.
Least of which, why would the people taking your site down leave it up by the way, Infowars is under attack.
Right. Hey, we don't want you to be able to do what you want with your site. That's what you would be doing if you took down his servers or whatever.
Right.
But because we're so conscientious and courteous, we'll allow you to redirect traffic to exactly the places you want to go.
Perfect. That's a very kind thing for people to do whenever they're taking down a website.
So thoughtful.
Link to the same website elsewhere.
It really undoes the move of taking down someone's website.
It kind of does.
I would say that I have zero doubt that this is all fake and it's all a big PR stunt or whatever.
Of course.
I don't think it's working very well because all I've seen is people tweeting and being like, "Ha, this is so fake."
Yeah.
And that's so.
Yeah, that's lame.
It's very
That's
lame.
lame.
It's very lame.
He should have gone. If you're gonna pull the hoax, go fucking pull the hoax.
Go 404 not found.
Yeah, don't half-ass it.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. It's kind of sad, but it is the natural progression of where he wants to take the narrative.
Yeah.
But the world isn't going there because the world is really just like, hey, you suck. We don't want you places.
I just had a thought when I was going through the thing. He says, when I take 5 caplets, does he mean capsules? Eat, not drink. It's not liquid. I keep thinking of it as liquid, but then he's like capsules or caplets. I don't know if he's doing like 5 capfuls, like you fill it up, fill the cap, using the cap as like the measure, or is it capsules, caplets? I'm just gonna Google. Maybe I'm wrong, but a caplet is a coated oral medicinal tablet. Okay, he's right. A caplet, something like this, like a pill. Gel tablets. Okay. So I drew more of like a liquid bottle. That's fine. It'll pop the top and just pour, and then I'll have little tablets come out, little caplets. Pretty simple to draw, right? I've played Dr. Mario. It's just like 2 half circles with the rectangle inside of them. Capsules are for the pills with the powder inside, and take them apart. Okay. Capsule, caplet. Yeah, him chugging from the bottle. Basically, it's gonna be that he's gonna be chugging pills from the bottle, but instead of liquid, they'll just be. I'll just have them be little tablets. You lost shared screen? The fuck? No, sorry, I almost ended the stream. Oh, that sucks too, because then like suddenly I'm all full screen, full face. I think it's something to do with me pulling new windows into the screen.
GIFs. He can post GIFs of his show.
It is eerily reminiscent of a man exiled from a village and yet still allowed to have a bullhorn.
Right.
Like, that's what him being on Twitter is.
Oh, yes.
He's like 20 yards outside the village. Everybody is fine ignoring him, but he's just out there going like, "You guys suck!"
Well, he has that broken bullhorn, Tyranny Crusher.
Oh, that's true. He's got Tyranny Crusher too.
So it has that because that wasn't able to sell on eBay.
Hey,
as far as we know.
If we can find it.
Oh, man. I want it. I want it bad. Imagine that.
Imagine that. How many more song titles do you want to throw in a row?
I
Want it bad. Imagine that. What else we got?
We has jazz. So, Jordan, we're going to get to today's episode, but before we do, I'd like to give a shout out to someone who came in donating to the podcast. We're very thrilled about this. Coming in at a technocrat level.
What?
This is very exciting.
No shit.
We appreciate it so much. So I'd like to give a very special shout out to Nicholas. Thank you so much. You are now a technocrat.
I'm a policy wonk.
4 stars. Go home to your mother and tell her you're brilliant.
Someone sodomite sent me a bucket of poop. Daddy Shark. Jar Jar Binks has a Caribbean black accent. He's a loser, little kitty baby. I don't want to hate black people. I renounce Jesus Christ.
According to my thing, we are sharing the screen. I'm assuming that's still true. Is that right? Can you guys see Alex on the screen, or do you just see me? Unfortunately, you can't. Why does it look like I can see? Because I have like a preview of what my stream looks like. Oh, that's embarrassing, man. I don't want you to look at webcam all close. I should just be like a little thing. All right. Now it's showing your full window. It's just YouTube being janky. All right, I don't know if did I do something that triggered that? Possibly. I don't know.
InfoWars guest Leo Zagami, the guy who pretends that he's a big Vatican insider.
Yeah.
And that was too boring. So I spent a lot of time trying to find something.
He does have a great flamboyant accent, though.
He does.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, he's great. But I spent too much wasted time on that, and I'm like, you know who never disappoints? Mark fucking Richards.
Mm-mm.
And I realized there's at least 3 of the episodes that we have not even touched.
Perfect.
So today I went back, and this is the 4th trip that she went to go visit him. I believe this was 2 years ago, maybe, or so, 2016, somewhere in there. But she's gone and spent some time with Mark Richards. For those of you who don't know, please go back and listen to the Mark Richards episodes.
They're some of the finest episodes we'll ever make.
But the short version of it, he's a crazy dude who orchestrated a murder.
Yep.
In California.
Yep.
About 20-something years ago, give or take.
And planned on turning San Francisco into a state protected by lasers.
He did. He was going to become he was going to turn it into his own kingdom, where he was the king over a bunch of young kids who would be lords, or something along those lines. So he
didn't work out. Great plan.
He orchestrated this murder. He was found guilty of it, but Carrie Cassidy does not believe that because he has told her that he was off-world at the time.
Off-world.
He's part of the secret space program, and he was on a mission when the murder would have been committed. So he's got to be clean. He is crazy, and he tells Carrie some of the stupidest shit I've ever heard in my life. She believes all of it, and it's nuts.
Although we have now, upon further review of Project Camelot episodes, she may not be told as much as she says she's being told, and she may be more orchestrating what she wants to get out of it. The good news is, though, is we don't really need to worry about our most recent Mark Richards episodes spoiling the story, because it's bananas every time. It's all made up, brand new.
There's plenty of pieces within this episode that are fresh, that might as well be current in the timeline. They're reveals.
Yeah.
But at the same time, too, like, I don't think we need to wrestle with the issue of scholarship or authorship on this. Like, who is it? Whose mind is bringing all this to the forefront? It really doesn't matter that much.
No.
And also, if she's coming up with this stuff, then what she thinks she's studying is crazy. So it's even more interesting if she is fucking around. Like, it's interesting if this accomplice to murder is manipulating her, but it's also interesting if she's like, oh, this is probably what real space people do. They hang out with raptors and they kill you for chocolate.
More fascinating still further, I would say. Perhaps, because we don't know this, and because she's not allowed to record it, she has never actually spoken to Mark Richards. Maybe she talked to him one time, and then from here on out, it's just become Sixth Sense kind of stuff. She's talking into the mirror, saying that it's Mark.
what was the boner pill that there was some kind of product that was mentioned in court? Who was it? It was the other lawyer pill. Instahard? Yeah, I think it was Instahard, maybe. I should make a bottle of Instahard. Or whatever the fuck that was. It was something like that. I know it had hard in it. Oh, I remember also in the deposition with Owen Schroyer, Bill's like, are you on any InfoWars products? Or was it maybe with Rob Dew? He may have asked that to several guys. He's like, have you taken any of these products today? Are you under the influence of brain force?
Richards is just making all this bullshit up on her own.
I've seen her in a
maybe
parking
in Rob
lot
Dew.
that was allegedly the prison. But
that
who
proves
knows?
it. Never mind.
Who knows? Joanne Richards might not even be married to this guy. Who knows?
Shit, we got to find her.
But you're right. They don't get to record things. And as always, when Carrie goes to visit Margaret,
Do sort of a recall of everything that we talked about to the best of my ability. I should note that we had only a small pencil. It's quite
Like a
small,
golf pencil?
and it runs out of ink.
wait, hold on. Your
Pencil
small
runs out of
pencil
ink?
ran out of ink? Weird
Okay.
pencil.
Interesting.
Weird pencil.
Interesting.
Is it a tiny mechanical pencil and she's calling the graphite ink?
I don't know. How do you make a tiny mechanical pencil? I've never seen a tiny mechanical
Scale it
pencil. It's
down.
always the same size as other pencils. Like, is she talking about a golf pencil?
That's what my mind goes to. But
Or how?
probably just misspeaking, and I'm being a dick about it.
I don't know if we can trust that, Dan.
Well, see, here's another thing you can't trust. This is not the first time that Carrie tried to get over to the prison to interview Mark this time around.
Okay.
She meant to go previously to this, but something happened.
What?
Something nefarious.
First of all, I want to say that about 6 months ago, I was prevented from making this trip. I was on the way there, and I was hit by a scalar weapon. It froze part of my face, or the half of the face, and looked like Bell's palsy.
Bet it did.
But I was
Did you have a stroke?
just woken up. I just woke up in the morning with it. I had nothing traumatic happen.
Don't have to.
So it was extremely strange, and we don't exactly know what went on.
You certainly don't. I think you just got Bell's palsy. That's probably.
Is she okay?
Yeah, I mean, that happens to people. Like Jimmy Pardo has a story about how he got Bell's palsy and then it sort of went away.
Is that a thing?
Yeah, it does happen.
What is Bell's palsy?
It's like 1/2 of your face will just go numb and you can't move it.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that was. I've heard Bell's. I'm not crazy. I've heard Bell's palsy said many a time. I thought it was like a disease, like Lou Gehrig's disease.
No.
In the same way as, like there was a guy named Bell.
Right.
Like I assume Alexander Graham Bell got it first because he spent too much time on the phone.
And that tree apple. Had
Exactly.
Right.
Wait, what?
No, that's us.
Also, what's a tree apple?
It's an apple from a tree.
Versus a regular apple.
I think of potatoes as ground apples.
Ground potatoes. Oh, ground apples. Okay.
Les pommes de terre.
All right.
En français.
Okay.
The apples of the ground.
Yes. Okay.
Come on.
Wait, is that real?
Yeah.
What?
Potatoes are called pommes de terre. Apples of the ground.
All right. I'm done with you, French people. We're out. Do we have any listeners in France?
I've never spoken to any, but I'm sure we do. I see it come up in the analytics. Someone's listening in France. Anyway.
Well, if you're listening in France, fucking get on it. Call somebody, call Macron, tell him to change the name of potatoes to just like potatoes.
Good evening, Jacob.
Come on.
Also, chou-fleur is cauliflower.
That sounds great.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that.
Haricot vert.
Yeah, those are green beans. No, I get all of the words. I'm frustrated with the fact that the words don't mean what the thing is.
I would argue that a potato is absolutely the apple of the ground.
That doesn't make any sense at all.
You ever wander around, see a potato?
For some reason, I was thinking he said potato, but I thought tomato, and I was like, "Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. It's not an apple of the ground." it still comes from a plant that's above ground. But yeah, potato for sure.
Bite into it. It's having a great day out there.
When was the last time you wandered around and just took a bite out of a ground apple?
Probably 2 weeks ago.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
A lot of ground apples in
I
Chicago?
kill for the community gardens around here.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
Yeah, just go in.
That's a way to cut costs.
Nom. Just take a chomp on a potato.
We got to lower the overhead on this show. So
Yeah.
you're eating ground potatoes.
So I would argue that this wasn't a scalar weapon attack. This is
Bell's palsy.
This is Bell's palsy.
Yeah.
Or just something else. Like you're saying, it could have been a mini stroke.
She could have had a stroke.
I feel bad, but at the same time, I don't see like diminished capabilities in terms of like her mental faculty or even physical. Like from there to here or even before that, seems like pretty much the same person throughout all of her videos, dating back like 7-8 years.
So here's my next question. Did she go to a doctor?
I don't know, man. Why would you go if you think it's a scalar weapon?
I know, right?
But I don't know everything about palsy, like Bell's palsy, but from what I understand, which is mostly based on Jimmy Pardo talking about it a lot.
Okay.
Because he had to look into it. He went to doctors.
Right.
When he talks about it, it is a sort of thing that can go away.
Okay.
Like in some cases, it just goes away, and in some cases, it doesn't.
Right.
It's bad and scary, but if she didn't get any treatment or anything, it's possible that it would just resolve itself.
Yeah.
So to me, I hear this and I'm like, you are really trying to make it seem like someone doesn't want you to go to talk to Mark Richards, when in reality, it's just something that happens to people of a certain age.
Well, yeah, but that's such a big deal to me, is whether or not she went to a doctor. Because, like, look, you can believe you can believe all the conspiracy theories you want, but if you go to a doctor after that kind of a thing, then you're full of shit. You're a fucking liar. Live up to your bullshit.
That's kind of that's kind of fair.
Yeah.
Because it would imply a lack of trust in your own diagnosis.
Yeah.
If you went to go see somebody.
Also, did Jimmy Pardo say Bell's palsy? Is that long for something?
He did not.
Okay.
Did not.
That would be great.
So, she couldn't get over there 6 months ago because of the scalar weapon attack. Why? But she finally does get over to the prison. And it turns out there's a state of brouhaha going on in the prison.
So one of the things I wanted to talk about was his current prison conditions. And his prison conditions when I was there was they had a lockdown. Somebody had murdered their cellmate, if I have this right. And it was an incident that caused for a lockdown for several days, if not weeks. And
so that's unfortunate. That's real bad. Also, Mark is a murderer.
I mean, I don't believe that, and yet at the same time, that seems terrifyingly common, so I could believe it.
It's entirely possible that someone got shanked at the prison or something like that, and they were on lockdown, but I bet that not everybody was on lockdown. Maybe just the people who had been committed into prison for murder-related offenses.
Okay, so maybe the murderers were on lockdown.
Maybe.
On account of their murdering.
Maybe. Or maybe Mark had a piece of this.
Now, Dr. Phil says that past behavior is not a predictor of future events. So why would you punish Mark Richards? He only barely committed one murder.
Who says that?
Dr. Phil.
I'm not going to listen to that guy.
All right. Then actual.
I do think that people.
Then actual psychiatrists, not just him.
I think that people can change. Don't get me wrong. But if there's a murderer in a prison, I'm going to make sure all the murderers are probably in their cells.
You know what? That's prejudicial.
Yeah, it is. Look, there's a lot. Do
you not like stop and frisk? Same thing, huh?
There's a lot.
Racial profiling? Same thing. Just because you murder one guy, now you want to murder a bunch of guys? That's a false premise.
I look, there's a lot I would like to change about the prison system. Don't get me wrong. I think it's a horrible system.
Yep.
But that said, I am fine with the idea of generalizing that people who are willing to commit a murder probably, what's another one?
That's a good point.
Especially people who believe themselves to be part of the secret space program who telepathically communicate with raptors.
Well, see, then it wasn't even him. It was probably Minerva. She got pissed off.
We are going to get into Minerva here.
Oh, of course we are. I want to know how she's doing.
But before we do that, we have to get a little bit more into the prison conditions. And this is nuts. This clip is it paints a bleak picture.
There's more to the prison story. I
Certainly
can
is.
tell you that right when I was there, Mark had very little sleep for 2 days because they had given him a cellmate who was very dangerous. Mark was convinced he was sent there to kill him. He was someone who was saying he was not human. He would stare at the scar on his face and talk to it. And
so at this point, it sounds like Mark Richards has a cellmate who sounds quite a bit like him. You know, it's not like he's saying he's not human or whatever, but he's damn close.
It sounds more like Mark Richards got some shit smuggled in and he's been on a meth high for a couple of nights.
That's possible. Also because this next part doesn't pass the smell test.
and he wore a Hannibal Lecter mask. He was a younger man, I guess, possibly larger than Mark, but Mark can handle himself, and
Can he?
ultimately petitioned to get that person moved. And so now he has a much better cellmate, I'm happy to say, because that situation was looking extremely dire.
How are you going to get a Hannibal Lecter mask to recreationally wear around in prison? I feel like that might be something that the guards poo-poo. They might say, nah.
You are allowed one piece of flair. Everybody gets to choose.
It's
Some
like
people wear
Survivor,
a button.
They get a novelty
They get
item.
some item in order to make them feel comfortable. Some people
Please.
have stuffed animals. I know a lot about the prison system, obviously.
I don't think that Hannibal Lecter mask is going to pass that even criteria. Even that. That's like, I would, if I were the prison guard, I'd be like, a little hacky.
That would be your prison guard critique.
I'd be like, you can do better. This is
I wasn't sure what they meant by Hannibal Lecter mask. Because I was like, wouldn't that just be like an Anthony Hopkins mask? But then, wasn't there the scene where he's like in the courtroom and they have that like protective like bite guard? What they meant is like this guy was so dangerous that they had shackled his face like Hannibal Lecter had been locked up. The brown mask that covers his, yeah, like that might not be like a fashion accessory. They're saying like he was put into one. Like when you ever see a dog with a bite guard, a muzzle. Yeah, people get more afraid because they think, ooh, he's muzzled, so that means he's out of control, that dog.
from a movie. Come up with something else menacing that's creative.
What? Here's what it is. This is why you're in prison. You're not very creative.
It could be.
You probably ate somebody, but you did it in a lame way. Like, that's a retread.
Didn't pair the wine correctly.
I
with
know.
The fava beans.
Exactly.
The grains.
Yeah, pathetic.
Just
another copycat killer, Dan.
I don't believe any of this, but I mean, that could just be my standard response to everything. So it's kind of boring for me just to repeatedly say, wait, no, I don't believe this.
So, hold on. Does this mean that this is when we meet our cellmate, who is his... No,
his longtime companion?
Yeah.
No. I don't think that guy was ever his cellmate. I think it's just another guy in the prison.
Oh, just hanging out.
I can't remember his name, but what we're talking about is Carrie has reported that he has a lieutenant in the prison somewhere, which is her. Oh, she does go on to say that there's some young kids at the prison who were willing to kill the cellmate for Mark, and he said, no, don't do that. And Carrie is like, that's proof that he's a great guy. I'm like, that might just be proof that he did that already, and that's why he's in prison.
Yeah, that sure seems to echo the thing that he did.
Yeah. So
it's so fascinating psychologically whenever we deal with Mark Richards. Is like everything he does is like him relitigating his past through the concept of make believe.
Well, I mean, it's so much like in line with like basic psychology of like, traumas from your childhood you'll often try and replay out and have a better conclusion to them as you get older. If unresolved issues,
it's like somebody with an alcoholic dad will constantly be
constantly ending up in relationships with alcoholics, trying to create a better outcome
to fix
for it. Granted, that's not universal, but it's a pretty strong trend.
Yeah,
especially with people who aren't involved in like recovery process, of some sort, therapy and whatever. But yeah, you just see this with Mark over and over again. So many of his fantasies do kind of involve things that are like, this is maybe an analogy for
this is you doing the stuff that you did in real life, but you're just saying it's raptors now. I mean, I guess.
Yeah.
That's more concern. Like now I like the idea of him like going around recruiting kids and telling them not to murder people that he wants to murder.
Right.
As though like that. Well, see, I solved it. I wanted that guy dead, but I didn't even tell those kids to kill him. I told him not to. I'm such a great guy.
I learned my lesson. Can I get out now?
Yeah.
No, you have to do your time.
But also, I didn't do it in the first place.
So now that we've gotten through this bit of his prison conditions and what have you, it is now time to get into the wacky stuff that he told her.
Hey.
And he starts with talking about artificial intelligence satellites.
One of the things we talked about was Black Knight and artificial intelligence. Black Knight was created by the British, according to Mark.
When she said he got into Black Knight, I was like, please be the Martin Lawrence movie. Please be the Martin Lawrence movie. It's not.
Oh.
And it has wiring in a sort of in place, which is unusual for high tech, instead of boards and slots and